Baseball is back tonight at High Corbett Field. It's been back, third home game of the season for your Arizona Wildcats. Cats still looking for win number 1 on this year. Pleased to be joined by the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats, Chip Hale, in his 5th season here. And Chip, we've kind of been joking on our show over the course of the last couple of weeks. There's been some epic coaching rants in college basketball when you talk about Jerome Tang at Kansas State and Mick Cronin from UCLA and Tad Boyle over at Colorado, upset with the way that their teams maybe are playing. And last night, I don't know that there was any video on what you said, but obviously you said some pointed things after a 5th straight loss, called it shameful, what you're seeing from your club right now. How are you feeling right now about this team as you guys get into this 2026 season?
I think we're a little bit frustrated. I mean, as a group, obviously nobody goes into a season thinking, they're not going to be able to win one of their first 5 games. But it just is. It's shameful for me because I'm an alumni of the program. I feel for the people here in Tucson who support us so strongly and have been a big part of our success here. And our student body and our obviously all our coaches and people who support us over at on campus. So I didn't mean it to be so negative. I just think it's just where we're at right now, and we've done some good things, and we've had a lot of experience given to kids who have not had a lot of college experience playing yet, and so we're hoping that'll pay off. I think our pitching has been great. We've been in every game. They've kept us in it, especially after the Oregon State loss. They've done a really good job of keeping us in games. We just have not been able to score enough runs.
Yeah. When you look at, obviously, and the big story, obviously, is injuries to start the year, and you hate to focus on that, but Tony Pluta, one of the dynamic players on this team last year, who everybody was looking forward to coming back and maybe anchoring the back end of that bullpen with more unbelievable closes to ball games.
Right.
What happened there? When did you guys realize that was going to be? Was that something that had kind of been building, or was that something that kind of just came on quickly?
Yeah, he injured it sort of in the December ramp up, and that's when we're not really coaching them. They all have their assigned throwing, which was from our previous pitching coaching staff. So it was very normal of what they did the previous year, and Tony obviously had a great year. So he was ramping back up, and then he was facing some hitters. They did something on their own, and he just felt something pop in his elbow, and obviously we tried to rehab it for a while, but I think we were pretty sure that something was wrong, and so it wasn't as big of a hit, I don't think, for us until the season started, because we knew probably he wasn't going to be able to help us, at least even if we rehabbed it for the first month.
Wow.
But you don't realize it, I think, to get into the games, and all of a sudden now you're sitting there in the 5th inning, and instead of having Tony the 9th or late in the 8th and the 9th, Hicks in the 7th and 8th, all of a sudden now Hicks is in the 9th, and we're running out of pitching, especially this week with 5 games in 7 days. It's been difficult because, to be frank, we've had Nolan Stranero went down with injury. He'll be out for the season. That's another one. JT Drake tweaked himself a little bit, so he's on a rehab. He'll be probably another month before he can help us. So now you start looking, we had 18 pitchers to start. Now we're really down to 15.
Wow.
So, and most college seasons you'll be fine with 10, 11, 12. It's just these early weeks that you pile a bunch of games in here.
Chip Hale's our guest, head baseball coach here at the University of Arizona in his 5th season. Let's talk about, obviously, some of the guys on that you've got coming back on this pitching staff, guys that were a major part of getting to the World Series last year. We had a chance to talk earlier, or talk last season a lot with Colin McKinney, and he's a guy that's going to be in that rotation this year. Owen Kramkowski, who was fabulous at the end of the year, will get the ball tonight. What have you seen from those guys early in the season?
Yeah, I mean, up in Phoenix, I thought Cram really wasn't himself. He threw the ball fine. Stuff was decent. But he'll go better and better as we go. He'll get more comfortable. He's a guy that's got a lot of moving parts. So when he's a little off, he's not his best. His velocity hasn't been really what he was throwing last year. Once he hits those mechanics, things will start to really pop. So I'm not worried. Again, it's it's early, and guys are trying to feel their way through it. I thought Smith was fantastic, Smith Bailey.
Yeah.
And then McKinney, who we started Fridays for us, is now going to start Sunday. He really picked us up big time against Michigan. I thought he pitched great for 4 and a few. It was 4 and a third or 4 and 2/3. He was fantastic. So that was a big step up for him. So, yeah, those 3 guys, I feel comfortable, when we go into these weekend series, we'll have a chance to get 2 out of 3 with those guys starting. We just got to figure out a way to score some runs.
What did you, in terms of Colin, because obviously it seemed like last year maybe he kind of ran out of gas there at the end of the season. Was that how you categorized it? And what was your message to him about how you wanted him to come back this year?
Yeah, I don't know necessarily if he ran out of gas because he couldn't get past that 3rd, 4th inning of really with this good stuff. It was all of a sudden he'd hit a bump and walk some guys, and we'd have to get him out of the game.
Yeah.
So that was a great thing about the Michigan deals. He got in a little bit of trouble, got himself out of it, and then he really started to use all of his pitches. And yeah, his conditioning is way better this year. He's happy. He's engaged. So I think that's helped a little bit.
I mentioned injuries at the top. Easton Bryfocal last night, collision. First game this year playing in the outfield.
Yeah.
That's tough because this is a young man that's battled injuries his entire time here, and now we're 5 games in and it's hit him again.
Yeah, bad collision. Obviously, we'll see how it is. We'll probably get him an MRI just to check him out, make sure everything's good. But he'll probably not be able to play the rest of this weekend.
Guy that's emerging, that we maybe have not heard, is Tony Lara.
Yeah.
Lyria. What do you like about him, and what's he brought to this offensive first base?
Yeah, Tony's been fantastic. Obviously, good defensive first base. We lost Tom Splain, and Tommy was so good on the defensive side to got timely hits for us. Tony's going to hit in the middle of the order. He's whether it's 3rd, 4th, or 5th. He's been really good. Obviously, like I said, on the defensive side, he saved us against Stanford. And then he's been very calm at the plate. I say that because, sometimes we look a little jumpy. He's been the one guy that, even with 2 strikes, has been able to produce some big-time hits for us. So, fired up for him. He's worked super hard at this. He was here all year last year as a redshirt, and I'm really happy he came back.
When you talk about a young offense, I guess I would imagine you have to be patient. There's a patience level that goes with these young men, like you mentioned, going at this for the first time, a lot of them, and having to kind of try to find their way here early in the season.
No doubt. Trying to be as patient as we can.
Yeah.
It's funky, with players. It's you don't want them to think it's okay.
Yeah.
They have to produce, and this is you're at the University of Arizona. There's a standard here. But also we have to realize we're throwing a lot of guys out there that haven't had the game experience. And so that's why it's been hard, I think, on Maddox, Michalakis, and Andrew Kane, and then, Easton before he got hurt, because those are guys who've been here, and they've done it. And whether they did it at a high level yet, they're having to be the Mason Whites, the Tommy Splains, the Garen Caulfields of last year. And that's not easy either. All of a sudden you're one of the guys that we're expecting to put some numbers up early to help these young kids.
Who is that young guy, Chip, that maybe fans are going to be like? Not to compare anybody to a Mason White, who was a local kid, but maybe who's that young freshman that could potentially be that guy down the line, do you think?
Yeah, I really like Cash Brennan is one of our freshmen, kind of a gangly kid right now. His brother plays over at UCLA. And once he fills into his body, this guy's got just a really interesting way of with energy and just very confident. Reminds me a lot of Mason White in that regard. Caleb Danzeisen is another one who just is a tough guy to get out, and those are guys we're looking for right now. Nate Nowitzki's another redshirt freshman that gets a lot of at bats, and I think the one guy that's kind of held this thing together, even though we are 0-5, is Sylvester Bo's been unbelievable, and because of the injury and the concussion protocol for Myers, it's just he's had to play. So, and he hasn't batted an eye. His energy level's way up. He's doesn't foul tip, come right back at you. So, that's a hard position to play, and he plays it with great passion.
Arizona Wildcats head coach Chip Hale is our guest. You had to replace 2 pitching coaches this past offseason. How does that affect the group when, you get one guy and he leaves and the new guy comes in and then all of a sudden there's a big league opportunity for him to go as well, and now you got to bring in a third guy in Sean Kinney. How does that play with the dynamics of getting ready for a season?
Yeah, it wasn't easy. He had to learn the guys quick, and then our player development coach left also to go with the Rockies. And so, like I told the guys, those guys got those jobs because of the success that the Smith Baileys and the Owen Kernkowskis and the guys we got drafted last year had. So they're part of it. That they should be proud of that. And Sean's been nothing but unbelievable at learning the guys and listening and watching and not just being overbearing on them. And he knew when he came here. There's a reason why he wanted to come. We have good arms, and he's helping develop them. He's helping do some different things. I think we're going to be better at holding runners this year than we've been in the past. We've really worked hard at, up in Phoenix, we got hurt really bad by that, and that's something that he's passionate about, and I think he's doing a good job of educating our pitchers more on that.
What's the key element in that?
Well, number one is if you're quick to the plate, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you're quick to the plate, unless they cheat and go, and that's 1-2 or 1-3. Well, most pitchers with really, they're big guys like we have, like Owen and Smith, who have, obviously 6'4", 6'5", and then long levers, they're going to be probably in the 1-4, 1-5. Well, the problem is we've been 1-6, 1-7, in the past, and guys would run out at will. Now we're getting down in that 1-5 area, and they're doing better with the pickoffs and the holds and different things like that you have to create to make the runner not want to run. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times in college, when they go, it's tough because the catchers are trying to catch a breaking ball and get rid of it. It's tough.
Obviously, 5th year for you, coming off a College World Series appearance. I guess give us just your assessment of where this program is now from where you took it over when you got it.
Well, when I came here, the team had gone to Omaha. Same deal. Lost twice. Jay had done a wonderful job of putting together great players, and when we came in, we were blessed to have them. I think obviously last year we lost a lot of that team, and we're trying to replace it. The program's in great shape. Yeah. We're raising money. We're going to be fine on that front. We have great supporters. We have great alumni that have helped us, so we're not worried about that. We just, we want the product on the field to be better. Sooner than later. Yeah. Obviously you don't have so many games in college. It isn't a pro season where you have 162 games. You got to get it going. So every time you put one over there in the L, it hurts you. Yeah. It hurts my heart as a Wildcat. But I also have to be patient and understand that once we get going and get on a little bit of a run, this is going to be a fun team.
Obviously, we've had a unseasonably warm, I think, January. Cooler temperatures, though, this weekend. What have you told the guys about being prepared for nights in the 50s?
Yeah, well, we played a couple night games early where it was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's amazing how you'll practice for a month and it's almost 90 degrees, and now we're back to the. But this is the normal weather here. Yeah. We're used to the wind. We're used to the chilliness at night, but it was nice last night. It turned out being good. I think tonight it'll be a beautiful night to come out to the ballpark.
There we go. Chip, hey, always great to chat with you. I know it's last year 0-3. Nobody really panicked. Things worked out well. Like you mentioned, though, got to start to get some, but I'm sure it's still fairly early. No need to necessarily panic about what we've seen through this first week.
Yeah, there's no panic. Yeah. I wouldn't call it panic, but yeah, there's concern. Yeah. It's no fun.
Right.
I tell them all the time, we're not Little League anymore. We all don't get participation trophies.
Right,
so,
exactly.
Fun. Having fun in baseball at the college level is winning. So let's have more fun.
Let's take that picture at the end.
That's right.
At the end of every night. Chip, best of luck the rest of this weekend.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Chip Hale, the head coach of your Arizona baseball team, Wildcats, UConn Huskies, Game 2 of a 4-game series out here at High Corbett Field with first pitch at 6 o'clock.